There's a lot of chaos ensuing in the New York Giants front office. I mean, you have Wink Martindale cussing out Brian Dable. You have Mike Kafka not getting along with Brian Dable neither. You have a quarterback situation that is a huge question mark because, let's be honest, mostly everybody knew that the decision to give Daniel Jones that big time extension was idiotic. It was the equivalent to when the Jaguars gave Blake Bortles that long-term extension after he led them to the AFC Championship a while back. And now because you made that decision and it backfired really ugly in your face, you now have concerns about how you're going to address the future of your quarterback position. Because on one end, you have the 6th overall selection in this year's draft, which probably puts you in prime position to get either Jaden Daniels or Drake May, depending on how the chips fall. And let's say you want to draft one of those guys. What are you going to do with Daniel Jones? Are you going to have a backup quarterback making $40 million? Because you can't trade him. Nobody's going to take on that contract. And the biggest mistake that the Giants made with the Daniel Jones situation is that they overpaid for a player that nobody would have given that same contract to anywhere else. If they would have just told Daniel Jones, you know what, you want all this money, you feel like you're worth this, go out in free agency and show us that you're worth it. Why not have given him the restricted free agent tag like how the Baltimore Ravens did with Lamar Jackson? If a team wants you, they can show you what you're worth, they can offer you these draft picks, and you can go play for them. And we won't match if we don't feel you're worth it. Nobody was going to give Daniel Jones $40 million. That was an idiotic decision, and that's why the Jets are in the situation that they're in right now. You see, Joe Schoen, their general manager, outside of hitting on Jalen Hyatt and Deonte Banks, he hasn't done a good job of building this team up through the draft. And his free agency signings last year were god awful. We know Darren Waller can play, but that's the problem. When he can't play, he can never fucking play. He's always injured. And Paris Campbell, bro, that was one of the worst free agency signings of last year. Because this dude didn't do anything. And why would they even give him the money that they paid him in free agency when the dude only had like one good season out of the 4 or 5 years that he's been in the NFL? And his career highs weren't even 1,000 yards. The only promising thing about the future of the Giants offense is Jalen Hyatt. If you can give Jalen Hyatt a somewhat decent quarterback and actually give him chances to get open downfield, he could be a really good deep threat in this league. But outside of him, there's nothing else to be excited about on this offense. And the reason why I don't include Saquon Barkley is because we don't even know if he's coming back when he should be coming back. If you're a Giants fan, I'm going to just give you a warning about what you're going to be in store for this season. You're going to be in store for something that you probably might not want to watch. Okay, if I was you, I would just watch the Giants games for the first 3 weeks of the season. And then when I start 0-3, find another team to root for the remainder of the season. Or maybe just occupy my Sundays with something else better to do. Because watching the New York Giants, I promise you, if you're a Giants fan, there are so many better things that you can do with your time other than watching the tragedy that you're about to see transpire this upcoming season in 2024, bro. Because the Giants are going downhill. Brian Dable can't get along with the coaches on his staff. I mean, what's going on here? This team went from being the Cinderella of the NFL not too long ago, Brian Dable winning Coach of the Year, to all of a sudden, his job security is on the line. Hell, there were rumors that said that the Giants might consider replacing him with Bill Belichick. It's not looking good right now. It's not looking good. And Daniel Jones, you can say he could have gotten better as the season progressed, but let's be honest, the games that he played in were god-awful. And he didn't even look good against the Arizona Cardinals. The dude had more interceptions than touchdowns. So it's like, even when he comes back, he's not going to be that big of an upgrade. The Giants are one of those teams that they really have to make sure that. Does it piss you off how much you pay for your monthly phone bill? Why are you getting frustrated when our partner Mint Mobile has plans as low as $15 a month that give you unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network? Stop getting frustrated with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports and description and pin comment down below to get access to premium wireless for only $15 a month. That's only $15 a month. Switching to Mint is easy. It only takes 15 minutes to do. If you're pissed off with how much you pay for your monthly phone bill, switch to Mint Mobile today and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports in description and pin comment down below to get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Stop getting upset with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and switch to Mint Mobile today. Every move they make this offseason is well thought out, calculated, because it has to work. Your offensive line has been god-awful for the last 5 to 6 years. You haven't had good quarterback play ever since Eli Manning retired. And you continue to go through these carousels of head coaches that show promise in their first year and then regress right after. The last couple of coaches that the Giants have all had success fairly early, and then they fall off right after. This franchise continues to go in circles. When are they going to get some stability in the front office? When are they going to hire the right head coach that knows how to be a good leader of men? Something that Tom Coughlin was. They keep struggling to find that. Like, the poor drafting, the poor roster decisions, the Giants are in really bad shape heading into this offseason. I don't expect anything to change. I mean, you made the terrible decision to trade for Darren Waller, sign Paris Campbell, extend Daniel Jones long term. I mean, what makes you think that this front office is capable of making better decisions this go around this offseason when they haven't been able to show the ability to do that last offseason? When somebody shows you who they are the first time, you got to believe them. This is a stupid front office. And Brian Daboll is maybe one of those guys that's cut out to be a good coordinator. He's just not head coach material because he can't get along with the coaches on his staff. Mike Kafka grew into dislike this guy, and Wink Martindale cussed this dude the hell out. I haven't heard no other stories about Wink Martindale cussing out any other head coach he's worked under. The future of the New York Giants looks really dark. If you're a Giants fan, please listen to my warning. Do not watch this team next season because you're wasting your time. There are a lot of better things that you can do with your year other than watching it on the New York Giants.